Okay, guys, so I'm gonna explain how did I get funded this last week. So right now, as you can see, today is Saturday, so I'm gonna make the whole recap for this upcoming week. As you see, I have been funded by Topstep. This is not my first time, to be honest. So the thing with the future platforms is that all the time you need to start making your profit and opening a new account. So that's part of the game. That's the best part, I think, because you need cash flow. That's the idea, and as quick as possible. So then you can invest in other things. Okay, let's start with a recap. So as you can see, I'm gonna start this February 16th, and you can see this date. This on Monday, there was a bank holiday for the President Day. So what you just need to see is where did I catch the trade. So as you see here, it's okay. We, as always, starting on New York session. You can see here, yes, of course, yes. So as you see here, let's go to 2 minutes because I only take trades in 2 minutes. So as you see, I'm trying to find SSMT, a sequential SMT that's for longs. So I need to find a good divergence here. So in this case, this low was taken. Again, here was taken. And look at this between S&P and Nasdaq. There is a divergence here. You can see here between here and here. You can see there is a big divergence here. So this was the only trade. You could take 1 to 3 here, taking the trade here quickly, or you can go for the 1 to 4 that is taking the whole liquidity here. My suggestion is just go for the 1 to 3. So if you were consistent during this week, the profit here, let's say that you're risking 0.5%, the trade here is this amount. Now, in my case, in my personal case, I'm taking 1% per trade because my suggestion is that when you are in a funded phase, always try to pass it as quick as possible. Then when you have your official account, you need to be more conservative. 0.5 I think is a good number, so then you can request another payout and then get funded again and again, because the main game here is to have a lot of accounts and take little profit from a lot of accounts. Then you can end up the month with a 5k and 10k account amount. So keep that in mind. So okay, this was for Monday. It was holiday, so I didn't want to push it anymore because it's a holiday. So always a market is slow, but this was the only trade that you can take if you were risking 0.5%. I recommend always, guys, that if this is your first time with accounts, like trying to get funded, it's not complicated. It's really easy. You just need to find a strategy. In my case, I'm using quarterly theory for all of this. And definitely, this is really good because it's simple and consistent, and you need to find something that is consistent. Definitely. So keep that in mind. Then, then we have Tuesday. So Tuesday again, this was also a nice day for profit. So let's check. All right. So in this case, let's go to 2 minutes here. In this case, look at this. Look at this. You need to find here a good SMT. In this case, there is an SMT between SP and US Ferry, but let's wait a little bit more because the real trade was here. No. Sorry. The real trade was here. Yes. Yeah. Changing the state of delivery. First candle, second candle. Sorry, it's here. So it was the second trade taken here. Then you just need to target 1 to 3, and that's it. This was also the only valid trade that you can took in a week. So again, this is 1.5% So in total, if this is your first time trading, you are if you're in top step, remember that your target is just the 6%. So if you are following the whole strategy with discipline, basically you're gonna make half of the target by in 2 days. So it's really not complicated. You just need to be focused on this and be consistent. Believe me, not complicated. I was also using before smart money and this kind of strategies because but honestly this is really difficult. It's difficult, not the strategy itself, because it's kind of complicated sometimes and it's not consistent, and it's better just to trade, in this case, indexes. That's my suggestion. 1 2 3, that's it. And believe me, the consistency is more important than if the strategy is nice or not. Then we are here on Wednesday. I think Wednesday there was another. Oh yeah, this in Wednesday there was the FOMC. So Wednesday, yes, it was a little bit difficult because look at this. So I took a loss here, and let's say that you also could took a loss here because look at this. Here you have, this is not ideal of course, but you have also an SSMT here, so that means that you want to sell. In this case, let's say that you want to sell here, but honestly I didn't, like, I think I took stop loss here, but look at this. Then boom, this is another stop loss. And see what happens here. You have, for example, let's say, well, honestly I took an stop loss here. I need to be honest with you guys. So this case was for me like this, like if you are following my suggestion. And then look at this. Then look at this. Now, here is the thing. Here is the part that most of the people doesn't know well where the trade was, and it was between a hidden SMT. So we need to wait a little bit more. Yeah, this is here. Yeah, let's wait more. No, oh no, so sorry. The trade was here. The trade was here. Yes. This is the hidden SMT. This is hidden SMT. All right. Then it's here, the hidden SMT. I think it's more clear in 5 minutes, but this is also another way to see it. I think in 5 minutes it's more clear. Yeah, definitely in 5 minutes, because if you see between here and here, hidden SMTs are between the body of the candle, so that's why it's sometimes difficult to take the trade. So then I noticed that, then I changed it quickly, really really quickly. So the trade could be between these if you saw the SSMT first than me. Then yeah, here the 1 2 3. This was also the other trade. So in total, the grand total here, because this was 1 2 3 1%. So the total is for this day 1%. So in total you are 4%. You are just 2% away of the of getting funded. So yeah, and then we need to, then that was all for today, because it is complicated. To be honest, I don't recommend to trade during the FOMC, and that's because it's gonna be between in a range. Usually there are some cases that is between in a range, because always are the news between 2 p.m. your time. And yeah, it's kind of slow the day sometimes. So then we have the first day I think was the most difficult day of the week. It was really difficult, to be honest, because look at this. It's really really difficult here. So because if you see no, because there is not something here, because it's really difficult when it's between in a range. I don't recommend to taking any trade because it's really difficult. So I think I went in break even with one of those trades, but look at this. It's really 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 hard. Look at this. Look at this. It's really hard. I don't know what happened because it's the first day. First days are, in my opinion, one of the nicest days to take any trades. So in this case, the trade was here, but believe me, it's really difficult. Look at this. There is an obvious divergence here. The trade, then the trade was here. I remember. I think yeah, yeah, like this, exactly there. But then you're gonna see, yeah, like that. Then you're gonna see that it's coming back. But if you took an stop loss here, because a lot of traders took an stop loss this day on Thursday, definitely is not your fault. Like it was difficult. The thing is to have good management, and at this point, as you can see, there is just 0.5% away to get funded. And you can see also the results I share. I also share stop loss, break evens, everything in my YouTube, so you can see the way that I'm trading. If you want to know more about my strategy, subscribe. Let me know if you have any doubts. Have you been using have you been using this strategy? What's the name of this strategy? This is a quartile theory before. This is your first time. Which kind of strategies are you using? But anyways, now this day was so important because there is something that even if you are using quartile theory, most of the tourists doesn't know that there is something called strikes. There are official heat maps that are, you don't need to pay this kind of software such as Bookmap, for example, because there are official numbers and are totally free for the CME. So in that day, as I remember, there was a good level. There are a lot of orders here, buy orders, sell orders. So the thing is that there is a lot of activity here, that a lot of market makers, banks, they want to be in this part, and they want to defend this level, or they're gonna pass it. But the thing is that this is a good heat map to be reached. This is something that yes in this day it needed to be reached. So that's why I wanted to look for longs in this Friday. People are afraid sometimes of Friday, but Fridays are, in my opinion, also good if you know how to handle them, because as you see here, Friday objective is to take the low and the high from the previous day. So this was the high from previous day, and this was the low from previous day. Once this was reached, it wants to go for the high from previous day. So I wanted to look for any trade. So I didn't took any trade here, but there was a trade, of course, here, between here and here. No, sorry. No, there was not a trade, I think. Yeah, this part I think there was not any trade. But look at this. It started it started with the longs. Everybody went buying at this point. So there was another hidden SMT here. Look at this. Most of people didn't know this here. I know this, and I took the trade here, of course, because it's between here and here. Yeah, between here and here. Look at this. This was a hidden SMT. I decided to took my trade with Nasdaq. It was between here, I think. Yeah, then I need to go back without the wick, because hidden SMTs are with the just with the body, not with the wick. So yeah, the stop loss was here. I decided to take it from here. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. That's it. And then it was so surprising for me because I didn't notice that at 10 a.m. There was a news regarding the tariffs, so I didn't know that. But this is not the first time that happens to me, that I'm trading with quarterly theory, and the whole market is setting you up for, or it's giving you some guessings about what's going on in the market. that if it's good time for longs, for shorts. That's with quarterly theory. That's not the first time that happens to me, but anyways, I got funded with this trade. This is the whole recap. If you guys have any any questions so far, just let me know, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you.